Hello and welcome to another episode of Coyote Dad's Adventures. Here we are in the desert of Arizona, but the huge cacti, the rough terrain, and the wild brush are the least of our concerns right now. The sun is quickly setting behind the mountain and it's getting colder by the minute. There are steep pitfalls and drop-offs, as well as trails that lead to who knows where. You could get lost so easily out here. Initially, we thought we'd search for the elusive tarantula hawk. However, after seeing one crawl out of one of these holes and sting someone and watching that person writhe and scream in pain, we decided we'd try and avoid these from now on. Well, we thought we'd make the dangerous trek down the steep hill to refill our water, but what once was a river has dried up, so now we're out of water, and the fear of dehydration is very real at this point. I'm near the top of this deep ravine here. It's about 70 feet down. I've slipped, but I managed to be lucky enough to stay right here and not go skidding all the way. It's extremely rocky, extremely slippery. People fall down here all the time. Sometimes they don't make it back up. I'll be fortunate to make it back up even here. It's going to be very difficult for me to do because there's no secure ground. It's just getting so cold and I'm tired. Still have miles to go, but it's getting dark and it's getting really cold. I got a little sweaty there and now it's starting to chill me to the bone. I have no other warmer clothes. If there was anybody else out here, I might stop and ask them for some warmer clothes, but nobody's around. I'm getting really dehydrated at this point. My mouth is bone dry. I haven't had water in a long time. One of our ladies on our camera crew sprained her ankle, so we've had to take a quick rest. It just delays us from getting out of here. So we got to figure out exactly where we're going, how we're going to get some water. There's no way to get any warmer clothes. We just have to keep hustling, moving along. Another what was once a spring of water has just completely dried up. There's a little waterfall here, bone dry, severe drought here, and it makes me nervous about the future and trying to get out of here. Well, we've run into another steep challenge. You see the needle, sharp as an actual needle on this cactus here. One false move on this rugged terrain, which is now much more difficult, more slow going. You fall into one of these, you will be scratched up so badly, you'll have to visit the hospital. I almost fell into this one. I was fortunate not to, but it just becomes much more difficult to navigate through this terrain now. My hope is starting to wane that we might make it out of here. This was our last hope for some water. Another dried up spring. It's just such a drought out here and I'm having a hard time breathing anymore. I'm laboring, I'm freezing. We need to find water. It's so cold out here and I'm so dehydrated. Hypothermia, I think, is starting to set in. And to top it off, we have coyotes within a half mile now. We keep hearing them in the background. They were about a mile, but now they're within a half mile. And I'm sitting by tarantula hawk holes. But it's such tough sledding through here, trying to navigate through this terrain. It's almost impossible to move. You have to go so slowly and we're so tired. But you have to keep moving. But you need rest. It's so difficult. Somehow I have to find the strength to just keep moving on. We're getting closer, but I'm getting more and more nervous by the minute. It's getting darker and colder all the time. We finally made it down through here to some flat ground. So that's the good news, but the bad news is coyote dung. That means they've arrived here. This is very bad. I'm so tired. I had accidentally poked myself with one of the cactus needles, and it's starting to throb in my finger. My legs are cramping. I can't walk anymore, but I can't stay here overnight because it's gonna get too cold. I'm so cold. Hypothermia is becoming very real. I want to just rest here and stay here all night, but with the coyotes being close by, it'd probably be a short night. I have a tarantula hawk hole right behind me, or right in front of me. I'm trying to cover it with a rock. Hopefully that helps. I'm in a bad way. I hope my satellite phone works so I can call for some help to maybe helicopter me out of here, because at this point I don't think there's any way I'm going to make it on my own. Could you pray for me, please? Hi, and welcome to another adventure